Hello, welcome, ladies and gents. We're at season 5, episode 231. I was going to say 213, then 231. We have got not a smorgasbord of topics. We've got some topics today. We're going to be talking about the Running Man trailer because that dropped to not as much fanfare as I was expecting in terms of views, but we'll get there and discuss that. We're going to talk about Predator Badlands because not only was there a new image released, but hilariously Empire completely messed up their discussion of it and the director corrected them. So that's funny. We're going to look at Jurassic World Rebirth splitting the critics. More so they hate it, but kind of ish down the middle. I think it's worthwhile as a conversation. And then we're going to discuss a little bit more seriously on the kind of conversational side of things is how Disney, I don't know, are they putting away the gay, as it were, in terms of phrasing because of Elio or Elio and the box office disaster. But it could have been worse, amazingly. So some fun topics, ladies and gentlemen, some fun topics. A few things to just quickly get out the way. You guys know I say it every single time, but you can super chat if you want to ask a question to anyone on the panel or simply just support the podcast, not really a project. So you can do that via Streamlabs or YouTube. YouTube will take money from that though, 30%. So you can send it via Streamlabs and they won't. It's significantly better. Second channel, link down below in the description box, which is where these get uploaded. And not only that, there is another channel called, literally my brain's switching off, called The State of Politics, which me and Bo have been uploading significantly more regularly now. The month of June has been like most weeks. There's been content most days, most weeks. So that has now, thanks to all of you guys watching and subscribing to it, that has now actually been monetized, which is I was genuinely surprised by, happy but surprised by it. So if you want to watch more content, specifically from myself and Bo, then that is linked down below, The State of Politics, in the description box. Everyone else's channels are linked down below as well. Please do go and check them out. But let's bring them on, and we'll start the show. Stop me from talking because apparently I can't. Hello, how you doing?
Yeah, what happened, dude? You went from articulate to, talking like a Democrat. Yeah, talking like a Democrat, but yeah.
Yeah,
same thing.
I don't know. In fact, this could be the heat, so I have no idea. But yeah, my
really, what's the actual temperature in Fahrenheit there right now?
Yeah, you guys always say this, but there's plenty of people, plenty of Americans that come to the UK that are like, yeah, this is brutally hot because of the humidity. So, yeah.
Well, happy Pride Month from the United States to y'all. That's right. Got the flag out. Really excited. 1st of July. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Do you want to promote some stuff?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm Culture Casino. I have a channel. It's called Culture Casino. It's right down there, actually. I do all kinds of videos and live streams each and every week. I have a new group of haters. I'm really learning to appreciate them and their commentary on my videos. It's good times.
What?
And
haters now.
I mean, they showed up, decided, I must play D&D or something about my beard or whatever else. I was like, those are not insults, monkeys. I mean, did you watch the video? If you watch the video, you can call me whatever you want.
All right.
I'm like, thanks for that. Anyway, regardless, do check out the main channel and check out the new channel, Campione Reacts, where I'm surrounded by ladies talking about the folly of TikTok reactions, responses, and statements by women who should know better. It's a lot of fun. You should check that out. It's a nuanced way to do the Manosphere and or Red Pill if you're interested in either of those in a more intellectual manner. It's a lot more fun too. Speaking of which, don't we have this other fella here? He likes history and stuff.
Well, I was just waiting. I was waiting for you to be done, and then I was going to bring him on. All right, here he is.
Hey, I know that guy.
It's Bo. How you doing?
I'm right. How are you?
Good. Promote some stuff. Who are you?
People can catch me at History Bro, just my YouTube channel. Everything's free on there. A few hundred hours of history from the ancient world through to the 20th century. I'm also on the podcast of the Lotus Eaters once or twice a week. Also got my own show behind the paywall on there, though, called Epochs. Another couple hundred hours more of me talking about history. And then there's also, as Nate mentioned, the state of politics, which we're getting off the ground and got a couple of thousand subs now and just got monetized. So we can really start going with it, really try and algo max.
Algomax.
Algorithm maxing.
Oh, that sounded like some kind of pharmaceutical for like indigestion or something. Algomax.
Could be, yeah, could be. And also, I could just catch you on Twitter at Bodade, or the thing is, the tag is at HistoryBro1.
Nice. All right. Yeah. It's quite a surprise actually, getting approved for monetization.
I think it's wonderful. I think you guys provide excellent information, and I think the algorithm favors people with English accents. So that's it.
Not sure if that's true, but on either count, quite frankly, some of it's just brimstone and ire at the state of the world. But it's interesting nonetheless. Hopefully, people can enjoy some interesting stuff. It's well worth checking out either way. Right, so we've got a few things. So we got a membership milestone from Mark Fields.
Woohoo!
Positive vibes to you all. I wish you all a beautiful day.
You too, Mark.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, buddy. And we also have a Streamlabs super chat from WCW. And he says, for $2, did you guys watch the teaser for Terminal List Dark Wolf? If so, thoughts? I'm really excited about this series and season 2 of Terminal List. I have a feeling that depending on how Dark Wolf does, Ben Edwards might come back. So, I haven't actually seen the teaser trailer for
Terminal the announcement.
List Dark Wolf. I saw the announcement, but I didn't watch the full blown sort of teaser thing. I am really looking forward to season 2 of Terminal List Day. I thought season 1 was great. I mean, it's just brutal, and I don't know, it just harkens back to kind of, I think I said this in my review of it, harkens back to kind of like 90s masculinity to a degree. Yep. It was just very good. I just had a really good time with it. It's well shot, well acted. Chris Pratt actually being serious for a change.
Yeah, he's good at that.
Showing range,
Yeah, and he does have range. He can play different kind of characters. He just never gets a chance to because they always kind of hired him as a goofy humor dude. I have to say I'm looking forward to season 2. I don't need a trailer. I don't need a teaser. I don't need anything. The first season was brilliant. I enjoyed every moment and very much excited about that. But I will be following up on the announcement on my X account and taking a look at it and seeing what I think.
Awesome. I'm guessing you probably haven't watched the Terminal List, have you? No, it's really good. It's really, really good. I wouldn't say it's massively. I wouldn't say it's 100% worthwhile. Going out of your way to sort of get a hold of Amazon Prime to watch it or anything like that. But it was very good nonetheless. So it's not the kind of thing I would recommend with on the same scale of recommendation as say Shogun, for instance, which I just adored. I thought was absolutely flawless. I think Terminal List is good fun though, well worth checking out. But yeah, no. So WCW, I will watch season 2 and also the Dark Wolf thing as well, and I'm sure both will be decent. Cool. Speaking of watching stuff, don't have the thing lined up. Let's try that again. Speaking of watching stuff. All right, Running Man trailer dropped. This is the Edgar Wright, Glenn Powell movie. It's not a reboot because it's not like it's a readaptation.
Yes,
right? Like it's a readaptation. Arnold Schwarzenegger was in one, but it's an adaptation of a short story by Stephen King. So it's not a reboot or even technically a remake, because the Arnold Schwarzenegger one wasn't in the same style as the short story as much. Whereas this doesn't necessarily look like it is either, but Edgar Wright had hinted that it was, so I don't know. I'm not sure. But shall we watch a little bit of it, and then we'll because I think we can watch this. I don't think it's gonna copyright claim it. So let's just watch it and we'll see how we go, and let's gather our thoughts, shall we?
Ben Richards, 35, married, one child, in medical crisis.
We need money for a doctor now.
Ben, watch yourself.
Employment status, blacklisted. But there's still a way out for you. It's the biggest show in the country.
Bloodlust is our birthright. Set it free. Welcome to the Running Man.
People on these games never come back.
I'm not trying to get myself killed, so kiss my ass twice.
Right there is why you can win this game. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. The entire nation hunting you down. And get your family out of Slumside for good.
I'm gonna come back here and burn this building down. I promise.
That's the spirit.
This is America, goddammit! And we don't put up with no bullshit! Yes! Hunt him down! Stop filming me!
Have you ever wondered if this game is rigged?
Guess we'll find out.
You might be moving up too fast.
Hey, buddy. You're on freebie.
You better run! I got a grenade!
Back at you.
I'm still here, you shit eaters. Hey, big boys!
Are you crazy?
All right. Let's get your thoughts first, Bo, because I can't tell which way you're going to go on this, which I think will be interesting. What do you reckon?
It could be all right. I think it's not taking itself very seriously, which Edgar Wright all makes sense. If it's just a silly, more of a comedy, then it might be all right. I mean, I like the original Running Man because sort of the age I am, I suppose. It was just one of the cool Arnie movies from the 80s, right? So, but the original one there's like humor in it, I think, for sure, here or there. Tongue in cheek, at least, let's say. I'm sort of kind of looking forward to this. I'm not counting the days, but it might be good. It might be fun. I don't think it's. I think it's a bit of a throwaway thing, right? It's not like it's not going to be an all-time blockbuster thing, I doubt. But no, it might be good. I was interested that the very concept is different from the Arnie one, where it said like the whole city's against you, right? So that's not what the original Arnie one was like. But I didn't actually know it was a Stephen King short story or novel or whatever it was. That's interesting. I'd quite like to dig that out because I've read quite a lot of Stephen King, and I didn't know that. So yeah, that's interesting.
All right. Yeah, I think. Well, let's get your thoughts, Culture. I'll go last.
All right. I'm thinking this is going to be good. I am not going to even compare it to the original with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I know the history of the origin of this, and I appreciate this as a different adaptation. I think adding in a little bit of the humor, as Bo talked about, is incredibly important. I think that was some of the campy one-liners and things like that that happened in the original film. You absolutely have to honor those for sure. But as this is a different take, it gives us a different opportunity to look at a game show that actually, allows you to put your life on the line for, any number of reasons. Very, very much akin to a lot of stuff that we've seen recently in elements of Squid Game and stuff like that. I do feel like this is going to do well with a certain audience, and it may spread. This has a chance to be very viral.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, look, I think it looks great. Yeah. The book wasn't a comedy. There was, it was very much like dystopia. It was like dour and horrendous, not nice. But you know what? Like, I think this is one of those times where I want it to be more of a comedy. I want it to be more of a throwaway. Dystopia is what you get when you just step outside your house. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't. The obsession with dystopia rose from people having it quite good. It was more of like a curiosity. It was like, oh, what if? Like, oh, wow, shit. Now, like, you go outside your house, everything's a bit crap, right? So, I don't want it to be a dystopia. I want it to be a throwaway, fun beer flick. A movie I could just sit down, watch with some beers, and have a good laugh. I think that's all it needs to be. And I actually think in here is some quite interesting and quite good shots. So this one, for instance.
You're on Freebie.
You better run!
So that entire sequence is just one whole camera movement. Like from the window all the way through down to the hallway.
You better run!
Like, I quite like that. So it might be throwaway, but there's still some really fun stuff in there in terms of how it's shot and how the cinematography is done. But yeah, I want it to be throwaway. I want it just to be a good time. Again, I think I don't know. I think there's enough dystopian shit out there. Actually, I think some more good. I don't know, some good vibes, some throwaway flicks is. I think it's also what the box office needs. I think cinemas need some of
mid-level, mid-level, mid-budget films that might be interesting to an audience, and you have a chance at profitability even if they don't make a tentpole money. These are the kinds of films we need. We've needed them. The resurgence in Hollywood since the 80s, I think. This is the kind of thing that rebooted Hollywood back then too. I know because I grew up in that era. So, we didn't have the kind of movie yield in the parts of the 70s that we came to find ourselves with in the 80s. And Hollywood was on a winning streak, and they need one again soon.
Yeah, I don't even know what the budget is for this, to be honest. It can't be too low based on the amount of action that's in it. It's got to be medium, I'd imagine. But I think it looks good. I think it looks like I think it looks good for what it is, dumb fun, which I don't know, I'm more than happy for, to be honest. I will reiterate every single time. I will reiterate something I say every single time we talk about any of these adaptations. Can we adapt someone other than Stephen King, please? That'd be good. I am well sick of that. It is always Stephen King. Like, there are other authors out there. Like, come on now. You know, other good authors are out there, please. That would be great. Oh dear. Dear, oh dear. I don't know if you guys have anything else to chuck in here with that, or shall we move on?
I just can't wait to see it. And what I liked about it was because it was just a proper trailer. This is just a regular trailer. There's no teaser. There's no other marketing BS that's in the way of this. You don't have Lois Lane yelling at Superman for no fucking reason. This is this looks like a good movie. Looking for that.
Yeah, good. Excellent. All right, cool. Well, there you go. Bit of fun, lightheartedness. Sorry, there were actually some comments about this. Sorry.
Huh.
Stephen McBride says best part of the trailer is Glenn Powell in his undies. All right, if that's what you like, yeah, yep, no worries. Juliet has been a member for 10 months. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Zombie Box Review says, sorry I couldn't make the show tonight, but I wanted to drop in quickly and say hello to my faith people and culture, of course. See you fellas on Thursday. Legend. Appreciate it, dude. Thank you. Hemorrhoid Hurt says, hi HCC and Beastly Bow. The British Lions are here. There you go. Nice to have you on with those Australian dollary doos. All right, cool. Let me bin that off and represent another screen. Cool. All right. So this will do. Okay, cool. All right, let's move on now. Here we go. So Empire has released a puff piece, as they do for every movie that's coming out. It's just kind of what they do, isn't it? It's their thing. They're a mouthpiece to studios, sometimes wrongly, as we will cover here, very comically. So this is an image of Predator Badlands, and they reveal some stuff which is interesting, which we'll get into. And then we'll get into the director's response as well to this piece, which is heavily comical. So Predator Badlands Yautja hero Deck is like Conan or Mad Max. Quote, he cuts straight to the point. Sure, fine. I don't know. I don't think he should be compared to other other great sort of icons and things like that. I think that's silly. Let the character stand on his own feet. If he's good, then people will make the comparison or not the comparison themselves. So I think it's a bit dumb to make those kind of comparisons, but fine. So anyway, this is the image that's been revealed, and there's some sort of language to go along with it. So some statements to go along with it. Sorry. As we go through here, it says, yes, meet Deck, a Yautja who, by the brutal standards of his tough-as-nails race, is seen as the runt of the litter, Trachtenberg says. Cue a mission to prove himself. The filmmaker puts Deck, played by Demetrius, I'm not saying that last name, in the lineage of stoic outcast heroes like Conan the Barbarian and Mad Max. He's a thing of few words, pretty blunt, Trachtenberg teases. He cuts straight to the point, literally and figuratively. Since Deck's... okay. So this part they changed. Since that's Deck's brother wielding that weapon in our exclusive image above, you can guess how our protagonist has ended up that way. Well, it didn't say brother initially. It said it was his father. It said it was his father. And then the director had to come out on Twitter and correct the magazine. Bearing in mind they interviewed him, and he would have been provided him with the bloody with the the sort of blurb for it all, the studio would have spoken to him, and he's like, the article states that character in this picture hold the sword as Dex's father. He is not the father. Look, that's not. I just think that's incredibly dumb. Like, what a bizarre cock up from Empire magazine. Cracked me up anyway. Made me laugh a lot. So there's that. So that's the image, and oh god. So that's the image, and that's the brother of this character. So they are going some way to humanize these aliens, which I think is a bit dumb. I'm not mega keen on it. So there's a little bit more just information here. It says, for Trachtenberg, getting audiences to root for a protagonist like Deck was the whole point. That feels like a big idea. It's not just within Predator, but in sci-fi generally. In most sci-fi universes, the creatures are either bad guys or sidekicks. In Badlands, it's what if you were with the creature on this crazy mission to prove yourself, seeing everything through its eyes. It's a fascinating idea, and Trachtenberg had plenty more of those up his sleeve, and just speaks about future movies that he's got planned if things go well. So there you go. That just a little piece with a new image. This movie is out. When is it out now? Actually, I can't remember the release date. It's not too long. Don't have super long to wait. November 7th. So it's not miles and miles and miles away. So we're going to start to see these marketing pieces ramp up.
If that's the case, it releases the same day as Running Man, the film we just talked about.
Does it?
Yeah, here in the States. Yeah.
Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. They've wheeled that out to die, haven't they? Both of them, actually, almost. That's really bad. How unfortunate. What a weird. There's no counter programming involved in that. That's a really stupid release date for both studios.
November 7th this year.
They'll just they'll cannibalize their own audience.
Or they'll keep everybody in the theater the weekend. Who knows?
So dumb.
I'm going to see both of them that weekend. So there you go.
Well, there you go. There's the piece, and just the stupid correction that I clearly found too funny, but I don't know if anyone else found it funny. There you go. What do you think? What thoughts?
I'm not surprised Empire made a mistake. I'm not surprised that they're trying to make a bad guy into a good guy and humanize him more. That's Hollywood's thing now. I don't know. I'm going to go see it anyway, but I don't have my hopes up. So this is one of those that I'm very cynical.
Fair. Fair.
Yeah, I would say, again, I don't think I'll go to the cinema to see this, but I'll definitely watch it because I'll watch any Predator thing. But, Predator 1 is a great movie. Predator 2 is, for what it is, isn't bad. And most of the rest of them are crap. I don't like, mostly, in my opinion, the whole reason why Predator 1 is such a great movie is because you see very, very little of the Predator. It's a complete enigma, really. Obviously, you get a good look at it at the end, pretty much. But beyond that, the whole thing's a mystery and an enigma, and it's better that way. I don't want loads and loads of backstory all about Predator. I don't want to sympathise with the Predator. They're an evil monster. That's what they are. Like implacable hunters. That's it. We don't need much more than that, right? I don't need to know about the family kin group of some predators and they're a predator coming of age story. No thanks. Nonetheless, I will still watch it one way or another. Because I'm hooked in to Predator stuff. But there we go. That's my take. That's my take.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, yeah, I think there's always something interesting it's a catch-22, isn't it? So when they don't explain something and you have no idea about it, it's always deeply interesting. You know, there's always that interest because it is an enigma. There's vague mystery to it. Well, not vague, just, you know, sort of a mysterious entity. You catch bits and pieces, and it's interesting because your mind fills in blanks. It's that thing of like, well, it's the same. It's the same with horror, actually. You know, horror only works when you don't understand anything properly. Generally speaking, the fear of the unknown is the greatest fear. If you know everything, you're like, oh, it's not that scary, to be honest. You know something's going to appear there. It's like the fear of what could be in the dark, not the fear of the dark itself. It's the potential of what is lurking there. So it's a very similar concept with why people are drawn to, you know, or find these kind of monsters interesting. It's the same as, I don't know, Creature from the Black Lagoon, for instance. You know, going way back. If you were just like, oh yeah, this is just this and this, you'd be like, oh, okay, cool. Part of the enjoyment factor is wondering why it does what it does. You know, not being told, you know, why it does what it does is the audience thinking.
Well, I mean, you're talking about something that we haven't had done well in a while, which is the movie Jaws. We don't see the shark,
true.
you know, for real till the end, mostly because it was broken. But you know, but they made the best of what they had, and they created extra suspense and a sense of wonder. The unknown and the things that are not explained, you have to fill in the blanks yourself as the audience. Some things can be suggested, but oftentimes I believe that extra exposition in order to, you know, tell a story isn't always necessary. You have and should be required to operate off of the show don't tell principles. That should make any kind of exposition superfluous. So I like the idea of, you know, not knowing as much going into something so that I'm informed along the way, you know?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair. I still can't believe Empire bloody.
It's Empire.
I can, but it's just dumb.
Yeah, it's just Empire.
I know. It is deeply unprofessional, isn't it? I think.
Hey, look, it's not like Empire, Vanity Fair, any of these idiots that try to, you know, super shill their noses right up to studios' asses. You know, don't do this on the regular anyway. So, and then they screw it up because they tell the wrong story.
Yeah.
I mean, Rings of Power was supposed to be good, right? According to Vanity Fair. Where are we at now?
Did they say that?
Oh gosh, yeah. Way back when, don't you remember?
Oh, Vanity Fair. They're the ones that did all those.
Yeah, they did the soap opera commercial with the turning.
Weird. Yeah, that was super weird.
Yeah,
I remember that now. That was all kinds of odd. Oh well, there you go. Anyway, we've got Nick here. Let's ask him for his opinion on this. Nick, what do you reckon about this? Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? Nick's dead.
Oh, hey, can you hear me now?
No, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I've not seen this. What's going on?
Oh boy.
Well, it's not a lot, to be fair. We're a little bit dry on stories today.
In short,
this is an Empire magazine piece. So they revealed a new image, and just a little bit more information about this. This is, well, initially the article said this was his father, but this is Deccan, his brother. So comically, Dan, the director, literally came out and corrected them. So that's funny and deeply unprofessional, which I just, you know, chuckle to myself about that.
Right.
But then he just goes on to explain kind of similar things that we'd already heard before. So, you know, said he's a thing of few words, pretty blunt, cut straight to the point. That's pretty much it, really. There's not a lot there, just that he's this Conan-esque character, or Mad Max, apparently.
The Predator.
That's kind of what they're comparing him. Yeah.
I'm still not sold on the look of this Predator.
Oh, no, I hate the look.
The look is terrible.
They've given him an ear as well. Have you seen this?
What?
Yeah, he's got an ear.
Oh crap, he does. Yeah, that is
Weird.
weird. Yeah, very very weird. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the design at all. Like I've said in the past, we have not gotten good Predator movies since the second one. There's been a couple decent ones that I've liked that I've been okay with. Even some of the ones that I don't like, I've liked parts of them. I thought there was some cool stuff in parts of them. So I'm sure I'll probably feel the same way about this, but man, I'm ready for a freaking just badass Predator movie with a great story to it. And I don't know if this is going to be it. I mean, I hope it is. I mean, I'm definitely watching it for sure because I'm a huge fan of Predator verse, Alien verse, all those movies. I mean, they're in my top 5 all time. So I'm looking forward to it, but I do not have high expectations. You know, I kind of liked Predator Requiem, the Predator that came that was sort of like the Rambo Predator. That
Oh, you
had
mean
like
AVP Requiem?
yeah, well, yeah, AVP Requiem, yeah. I kind of liked that Predator. He kind of had like all the a bunch of new weapons and stuff, and I'd like to kind of expand on that kind of Predator in this. Maybe they are going to do that, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm just, like I said, I don't have high hopes.
Yeah, it's a bit of a, I don't know. It's a dumb looking Predator, that's for sure.
God, yes, yeah. That's the only thing that, and the thing is, when I'm watching it, I have a feeling that the dumb Predator look's going to completely take me out of it while I'm watching it. I'm going to try to just ignore it since I know I already don't like it and just focus on the actual movie and storyline itself. But yeah, the design is just bad.
Yeah, it's proper dumb. Proper dumb. And everyone's like, oh, well, humans don't all look the same. So, well, that's true. But, I mean, they don't, I don't know. Yeah, fundamentally, just you don't smooth that. I mean, in fairness, actually, from this image, I've only just noticed it now, actually. He doesn't look as smooth and weird as he did in the first trailer because they sort of smoothed out his skin in the first trailer. Do you remember? Gross.
Almost like they threw a filter on it or something.
Yeah, like a Snapchat filter or some crap.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
like some sort of woman on social media trying to filter her images or something.
Yeah, looking a bit rougher now, the texture. Like he's looking a bit more sort of crustacean-like, which is what they're supposed to be. A bit more crabby. So I don't know. Bit of a weird one, but Nullif here says, I don't like these new Predator looks. They look so poorly designed. This runt looks like he has what? Microcephala? Cephalia? Compared to a normal one? What's that? Microcephalia. Microcephalia. This is a Google.
Yeah, we need a definition.
Condition in which a baby's head is much smaller than expected for the baby's age. I mean, that's fair. It does look a bit like that. Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Could you just imagine if they suffer from hyperocular telerism?
Well, he has that as well. To be honest, his eyes are all
got that
messed
as
up
well.
It's like, his eyes are proper like messed up. So yeah, funny. Well, there you go. Anyway, bit of a dumb segment, but a bit of a dumb image. I'm still excited for it to a degree. I'm not like super stoked. I'm keen to watch it, and I will watch it, of course. But yeah, there you go.
If they just took either the first 2 Predators from Predator 1 and 2 and just kind of altered them and just made them just a little bit different, but pretty much the same, man, I'd be way more excited to see this.
Likewise. Right,
Okay,
quiet.
now hang on, Nick.
Mhm.
This film and Running Man with Glenn Powell open the same weekend. Which film are you going to see?
I'm gonna see this one.
Really?
Yeah, just because I like the original Running Man with Schwarzenegger, even though it
Yeah,
had
this is nothing like that. This is
yeah,
nothing like that.
yeah, even though it did have some cheesy moments in it, for sure. And I'm definitely gonna see that movie as well. But if I had to pick one, I think the Running Man movie is probably gonna be a better movie than this one. But like I said, I'm a fan of the Predator universe, and so I'm definitely gonna. If I had to pick one to see, it would be this one. Even though I think the Running Man movie would probably be better.
Fair.
But that's just a biased, opinion
Yeah,
coming from me.
we're allowed our
Yeah.
biases. Well, there you go. Anyway, let's move on from this. Cool. All right, let's get into some meaty subjects now, shall we?
Ooh.
This is we've had our sort of padding now. We'll get into the meat of the show, sort of anyway. This is funny. Let's go. So, Elio, look, I appreciate it's proper lame talking about a Pixar movie, but this is a peek behind the curtain of Disney as an entity. So it's worth talking about when they command such control over what your kids watch, and sort of what they're interested in, and not only that, the teens as well with their other movies that they release. They're the biggest movie studio. It seems dumb not to talk about stuff like this, even though it's catered. This particular movie was catered for children. Again, it's a peek behind the curtain, and this will be rife across all of their films, I'm sure, and across all of their studios. So, Elio is the lowest opening Pixar movie of all time. It's a huge failure, but it could have been even worse. And it's just baffling. It's absolutely insane. So Hollywood Reporter has this great piece, and it says, inside Elio's catastrophic path, America Ferrera's exit, director change, and erasure of queer themes. I know, what a headline. What a headline.
Yeah, the erasure of queer themes. Yeah, that's definitely what did this in.
No. It is actually in part, but we'll get to it. So creatives at Pixar who saw the original director's previous cut of Elio tell THR about the movie's challenging production process. Elio just became about totally nothing. So that is linked to them removing the gayness. But they shouldn't have had it in the first place. That's kind of the point, I guess. So those who worked at Pixar while its latest film release, Elio, was in production, were delighted by footage they saw roughly 2 years ago. Among the moments cited as favourites by those at the animation studio at the time included a sequence in which the titular boy collected trash on the beach and turned it into homemade apparel that included a pink tank top. The movie's team would refer to Elio showing this off to a hermit crab as his trashy-on show. Whatever that means, but okay. But if you bought a ticket to Elio and don't remember seeing this, it's not just that you chose the wrong time to refill your soda. According to multiple insiders who spoke to The Hollywood Reporter, Elio was initially portrayed as a queer-coded character. It's a child's film, remember? Reflecting original director Adrian Molina's identity as an openly gay filmmaker. Oh, right, okay. So he was just self-insert as a boy or something. Like some weird groomer shit going on. Other sources say that Molina did not intend the film to be a coming-out story, as the character is 11. Not sounding that way, though, is it? But either way, this characterization gradually faded away throughout the production process as Elio became more masculine, following feedback from leadership. Gone were not only such direct examples of his passion for environmentalism and fashion, but also a scene in Elio's bedroom with pictures suggesting a male crush. This is an 11-year-old, remember? 11-year-old. Hints at the trash fashion remain in the released film, with the boy wearing a cape decorated with discarded cutlery and soda can tabs, although without any explanation for the unusual attire. Elio's turbulent ride began well before its calamitous nosedive at the box office during the June 2022 corridor. Indeed, the summer of 2023 became a fateful one for the animated film about a lonely boy beamed into outer space by an intergalactic organization after being misidentified as the leader of Earth. The writer was first on the wall, or the writing, sorry, was first on the wall for the troubled production when the film from Melina, known as the co-director of Pixar's blah blah blah, conducted an early test screening in Arizona. So this movie did a test screening. Viewers expressed how much they enjoyed the movie. However, they were also asked how many of them would see it in a theater and pay to see it in a theater. That's the important part. They were asked if they would pay. Not a single hand went up. So they're like, yeah, it was all right. Would you pay? No. According to a source with knowledge of the event, this sounded alarm bells for the studio brass. It was around this time that Melina screened the latest cut of the film to Pixar leadership. There are differing accounts of the exact feedback that the director received from Pixar boss Pete Docter when the lights went up, with rumors circulating in some of the studio circles that Melina was hurt by the conversation. Yeah, well, he sounds a bit like a fanny, so yeah, it's to be expected then. The part that is clear is that Melina exited the project soon after, and much of Elio was reworked under new directors, Madeline Charathian and Demi Shi. And then also, what else happened was this America Ferrera exited as well. She just binned herself off from the show. It was like, no, I'm done. See you later. I'm gone. So I was deeply saddened and aggrieved by the changes that were made, says former Pixar assistant editor Sarah Ligatich, who provided feedback during Elio production as a member of the company's internal LGBTQ group Pix Pride. Why does a children's animation studio have a company's internal LGBTQ group? Why? What the fuck is that?
Because
Although praises. Go on.
I was just gonna say because of a word that rhymes with rooming.
Yeah, massively. So she praises the directors. Ligatich notes that a number of creatives working on the film stepped down after the directors shared their first cut of the movie. The exodus of talent after that cut was really indicative of how unhappy a lot of people were that they had changed and destroyed this beautiful work. So they boycotted it internally like a bunch of fannies. Another Pixar source disputes that people stepped down in response to Melina's departure. The changes to Elio were clear to one former Pixar artist who worked on the film and asked to remain anonymous. It was pretty clear through the production of the first version of the film that studio leaders were constantly sanding down these moments in the film that alluded to Elio's sexuality of being queer. Good. Should never have been approved in the first place. Why did you approve it in the first place if you're going to remove it, you pleb? And so basically, there you go. It then releases. It's a complete bomb. And because they had to remove loads of stuff that they had previously approved, it's just this weird, empty, vacuous narrative without any actual reason behind it existing. So it kind of actually is the fault of them removing the queerness. But it's also their fault for even having it there to begin with. So it's a fascinating deep dive behind the curtain of what was once a powerhouse studio. Pixar films, man, were huge. Absolutely massive, mammoth projects. And this film as well, I mean, it's at bare minimum, and it is really bare minimum, is $200 million production budget. I'm saying bare minimum, culture. Bare minimum. So yes, it is bare minimum. $200 million production budget plus $100 million marketing. So that's $300 million. So that's $600 million to break even. But because it's been sat on the shelf for so long, it's been completely reworked multiple times and changed and adjusted. New directors, new voice cast. $200 million is like a piss in a stream compared to what the production budget is highly likely to be. And they opened to $20 million. So
Yeah,
I
and
thought
some reports were saying that it was close to 300 million.
Yeah, exactly. It's always best to err on the side of caution with these things because we can be a bit, overzealous with numbers, and you can actually get your point across with a much more digestible number, which is still insane. Even if it was 200 million, still 100 million marketing, $600 million to break even. I mean, they've lost hundreds of millions of dollars, even with the most conservative budget. So there you go. That's it. I just thought this was heavily comical, well worth talking about. Culture, and you want to jump in here? Over to you, buddy. You crack on, mate.
No, I'm just you're stating it. This thing needed to make about $1 billion. It had no prayer of making about $1 million. It had no prayer once it really opened here in the States domestically at, I believe the actual honest line was at 19 million, not 20. But yeah, it was absolutely a disaster. This is one I called months and months and months ago, and everybody knew this was gay. And then they said, no, there's no gay in it. Okay. Well, that's just like they did with, a couple of the other releases that they've done recently. I mean, Inside Out 2 had a lot of gay lesbian stuff in it. They pulled out. Pixar infamously had a TV show that was coming out called Win or Lose. They pulled the trans line, the trans storyline out of there from the trans kid that was going to be in the show. Disney is realizing and recognizes that every time they move forward with these story elements in one of their kids' movies, whether it be Light Beer or Strange Worlds, it hurts them badly. And I think that Pete Docter, in the position that he has at Pixar, was not going to let another one of these sneak by him. Because there's no reason to have as many animation studios as Disney has anymore. They only need one. They don't need Disney Animation plus Pixar. There was a good argument for it when you still did some nice hand-drawn stuff from time to time, or you wanted to have a more traditional look. But, once they kicked out Lasseter, I mean, they were always going to be headed more towards computer animation anyway. So there's no real reason to keep the studios separate other than to preserve whatever these special interest groups that are embedded within. And you asked the most important question. Why is there, all these separate little communities inside these studios promoting all these terrible agendas for what are supposed to be family projects? So, I think that those are the most egregious things in the first place, but that what it leads to is material like this. And, in this case, it may have gutted some of the story that would have been in here. Of course, it's not a story suitable for children, but it would have been story.
Yeah.
Why
did they approve it to begin with, though? Like, what a dumb thing to do. Yeah, we'll just approve this. Yeah, no worries, mate. And then they watch the fruits come to bear of the script that they approved, and then they're like, "Oh, this is pretty gay." It's like, yeah, you approved that, you pleb. Like, what are you doing? Why would you approve something that you're inevitably? But this is Disney through and through. They always approve scripts and they always change them. They always cut them down. They always adjust them. They go back and do reshoots. So bizarre. But it's staggering lack of competent executives approving scripts within Disney because they do it all the time. Like all the time. It's not just Disney, like Disney as a whole entity, the umbrella of Disney with all of their companies. Bo.
This is funny to me. Scroll down again to about halfway down where there's that picture of Ugly Betty and the other people, the 4 people. Right, look at the state of that. It says everything you need to know, doesn't it? Just a team of weirdo freaks. Yeah, and you came up with nothing. Talk about like the essential vapidness, hollowness of the sort of the push to try and make little boys feminine. Like I think it's so funny. It's so funny because you know, I haven't got kids myself, but you know, I had nieces and nephews, and you know, still grew up around kids in various ways. It's so funny how little boys, not all little boys, but most little boys, like they don't have to be told that they should be into cars and guns and motorbikes and football. And right, most little boys, do you know what I mean? Like they don't want to be effeminate and gay.
That's inherent in their very being, isn't it?
Right.
It's in their
yeah.
DNA.
The vast majority of little boys want to run around and get mucky and be a little tearaway, right? They don't want pink things. Right. So anyway, I just think it's funny that once again the entire agenda just runs up against reality. Yeah, there's no little boys out there saying, "Mummy, Daddy, please take me to see Elio." I've heard everyone's talking about Elio in the playground, about how cool it's going to be, and everyone's going to see it, and I can't be the only kid that's not going to see Elio. That's not happening, is it? So, yeah, good. I hope it dies. I've got no intention. Oh no, I won't watch it. Obviously, it's not for me anyway. But
I think it's worse than dead. I think this is This was stillborn, completely stillborn. Yeah. Wasn't even alive to begin with. Unbelievable. Nick, you got anything to throw in?
I would be curious to see how many of the people that went and saw this, because currently it's sitting at, what's it currently? It's worldwide 72 million. Currently. So out of everybody that got tickets and went and saw this, I wonder how many of those people, knowing what they saw, would pay to see it again. Like, was it worth their money? I bet it would probably be that worldwide would be cut in half, because not all parents pay attention to you know, the stuff going on in the news and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of them do, but a lot of them also don't. And you know, they're probably like, oh, look, let's take the kids to the movies. You know, there's a new Pixar film, you know, because Pixar used to have a reputation of good, family-friendly kid films. You know, when John Lasseter was there, you know, now it's like you have to like screen it before you show your kids to it. Same thing with Disney, you know, which, you know, Disney is in charge of all this. So this is just more agenda pushing garbage nonsense crap coming out of that studio and out of Disney, and they're going to keep doing stuff like this. I think Inside Out 2 was the last one that did well for them. I think it
was quite a big one that was.
Yeah, it crossed. If I'm right, I think I'm right. It crossed over $1 billion, right? Yeah. So you know, that's you know, one every maybe 5 years they might have a film like that, you know. But it's like what was it? It was Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, the scene where Ben Affleck and they're redoing Good Will Hunting. What's Ben Affleck's buddy's name? Brain fart. Good Will Hunting. What's that actor's name?
I can't remember. I don't know who you're talking about. I can't remember.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. There we go. Yeah, Matt Damon. When they were having a conversation, like you do the money film, then you do the artsy, you know, film. You know,
yeah, I see where you're going.
Basically, it's like that's what they're doing. Like, you know, we'll do like one that we know will be a smash hit, and then we'll do our little rooming session films, and keep pushing that agenda out there. And I think every single time, like, I wonder in the back of their minds if they're sitting there going, we are going to lose so much money on this, but we're doing it anyways, or if they're really so delusional that they're like, this is going to be a smash hit. People are going to love this. Surely not anybody working on this thing was thinking that, but maybe some really were just delusional and thought this was going to be like some new banger hit film. I'm happy to see it fail and continue to fail, and anytime we get news like this, it's good news for us, anyways, and the whole culture war stuff.
Massively. Anyway, there you go. I just thought this was funny. Just a dumb, weird thing. But again, like indicative of Disney as a whole and what they just consistently do. Consistently.
They've turned into a complete joke.
Yeah, hugely. All right, well, let's move on from this. We've got some super chats here. So we've got one from Mark. Says, I wish I could get excited for all these upcoming films. It's like Hollywood is purposely nosediving all these IPs. Well, I think they are. Yeah, I think that is actually. I don't. Well, I won't say they're not purposely losing money. I don't even know if I can say that now. To be honest, it does feel like they are. Because it does, doesn't it? You're like, well, this is obviously not going to make money.
It's hard not to come to that conclusion. I mean, it's an insane thing. Like, what company deliberately loses money, deliberately torpedoes itself? But it's hard not to come to that conclusion. I mean, I guess they're not. People like Bob, or just the most senior people. I doubt they're like actively want to destroy the company. They're just so locked into the message that I don't know. It's weird. It's weird and almost inexplicable. Because I don't think they're deliberately losing money, deliberately trying to torpedo the whole thing. But yet that is exactly what they're doing and insisting on going further with. So how is it not the case? It's mad, isn't it? It's mad.
Oh yes, yeah.
Well, what if I were to say they are doing it intentionally?
I mean, maybe. I wouldn't rule it out.
Do you remember what the Mr. Fink over at BlackRock said?
Right. Yeah.
You have to force change. So they're trying to force change through cultural revolution. They're just not calling it that. And they're destroying the old culture and replacing it with their new, corrupted communist, socialist, neo-Marxist garbage. That's what it is. This is the neo-Marxism, like leaning in onto a rational world. We're going to push feelings over facts and logic, information. We're going to acknowledge all of these people that are left behind, these marginalized, that bologna sausage. When there's nobody marginalized, most people self-marginalize, and especially in our culture in the Western world. You put yourself in a group of people that commit crimes, you're a criminal. You've marginalized yourself. We have an invasion of people in this country, which we're finally turning back. We've got people that, believe that they're, fire engines and want us to call them, fire engines. I'm not going to say what I really am saying here, but I think everybody here can read into that. There is objective truth in the world. I'm sorry. And most of us live within it. And those of you who want to live in your delusional world, we need to we actually need to put funding and establish more funding out of USAID and just build a bunch of mental hospitals because that would help.
Yep. Yeah. Make mental hospitals great again.
Great again. I'm for it. Yeah. That's going to make me friends.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw a stand-up comedian talking about how, he's got to deal with his kid in school having to deal with the teacher basically coddling somebody who identifies as like a cat or something.
Yeah.
And they had put like a kitty litter box for him in the classroom and all this stuff. And I'm like, what is going on? Like it's insanity, complete insanity.
And
Yeah,
just look at the people who are enabling it and why. And then,
Yeah.
Ponder to yourself why someone like Nancy Pelosi is $400 million.
Yep. Yeah, and like a what, 250,000 yearly salary.
No,
I
it's
shouldn't laugh, it's not
174.
funny, but-
I was at 174. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But look, I mean, if you think about it, we have a lot of people that are bought off by other countries, and
Yep.
they're intentionally making us weak, culturally, especially.
Yep.
I mean, I can look at our friends all around us, whether it be Canadians or our wonderful British friends or whatnot, and say, hey, I can see what's happening in your culture and why and who's corrupt. You guys are easier to figure out who's corrupt in your shit. Here, it could be everybody, but it could be not that many. Hard to say.
Yeah.
Chuck Schumer.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's no doubt there.
Remember the golden age of the 80s and masculinity films?
Yeah.
Commando,
Yeah.
Predator,
Yeah.
Rambo.
Yeah.
We get nothing like any of that stuff today.
Dude,
You're not
Very
allowed.
little of it.
I'm telling you right now, Chuck Norris can still kick your ass.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to fight him.
They're well, there you go. Fun.
And ladies and gentlemen, the knocking that you're going to hear in the background pretty soon at Nate's place, that's okay. He's just being taken away, and I can end the stream.
Right,
proper.
yeah, probably. Okay, Doug Viela Torres says Predator Killer of Killers is just as good as the first one to me. 90 minutes long. I cared about the characters, the plot flowed right along, and I loved the different predators. Yeah, I really like Predator Killer of Killers. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah, I had a good time with it.
Yep, the
Yeah,
last
decent.
one, the World War II era one, was my favorite.
Was it the Japanese one was my favorite?
Yeah, I was
like
going to say that one was
that-
the coolest looking.
That,
It was.
that was my second favorite one.
I see. All right, fair. Well, I'm glad you liked it, Doug. Always nice to have some positivity. Hemorrhoid Hurt says eye patch of death like Picard with French accent. Talking about
Elio.
then. Yeah.
Yeah, and that the patch was like not present all the time, and again, it was as much a disability story as it was anything else, and mental disability, physical disability, and apparently some other thing that made them want to dress in trashion as opposed to fashion.
Weird. Hemorrhoid Hurt says British Lions rugby team, but you 3 Lions too, of course. Well, there's 4 of us now, but yeah, appreciate it, bud. All right, so let's get on to our final topic today.
Woo!
So,
hey, this is my razor fist moment. Fuck you, I was right. Fuck you, I was right.
I think quote that guy, man. He's really not someone to quote. That guy's got videos of himself. He used to video himself fapping online. Don't quote him.
What?
Yeah, mate. Go down a rabbit hole with that dude. He's not
No!
someone to quote. Yeah, he's really not someone to quote. I'll tell you now.
Who is that
is
again? Who are
someone-
you talking about?
Razor Fist.
Oh,
is
yeah.
He is not someone to get involved. I'm not going to say this publicly. Just don't do that on my podcast. He's an embarrassment. He's an embarrassment.
I know who he is, but I've not ever had any interactions with him.
Yeah, no, neither have I. I replied to one of his tweets. I was like, because he was beefing with another. This is how I found out about all this stuff. He was beefing with another YouTuber. He was like, "Oh, just remember, every single day you still have a career is because of me." Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, stop being such a fanny. Either end his career or shut up. I'm like, you literally just talking nonsense online like a bitch. Like, shut up. No one cares. You sound like a loser. That's my only interaction with him. But yes, anyway, let's Jurassic World Rebirth, everyone. The reviews are real bad. But yeah, no. So Culture, you've seen this, and they do go along. They do go along with your review to a degree, don't they, mate?
Yeah. And I was right. I mean, Scar Joe is one of the worst things in this film, and I mean the comments and everything else in here are just redeeming. So all the little crybabies that showed up on my video to tell me that I was wrong, or that I obviously play D&D, or I have some kind of a weird beard or some such. First of all, I don't care. And second, you were wrong. Go see it and find out for yourself just how terrible this movie is.
You know what though? Just for clarity's sake, because I looked at this earlier.
Oh boy, here we go.
Well, no, because I think it's important. Like, none of the Jurassic Park films have actually ever had good reviews. Do you see what I mean?
Jurassic World was 72.
Yeah, but nothing else.
No, well, the first one again. See,
yeah,
to me, it's
even the Lost World Jurassic Park didn't do very well.
I know. Well, I think the first and second one were fine. The third one was not even quite tolerable. But of all of the films, those are still the three best. Jurassic World, the original, all right. But I mean, there's a lot of reasons not to like it, and from that point forward, they just suck. This is a giant amount of suck. These are not going to get better.
I quite liked The Lost World.
Whatever, dude.
All right. Well, anyway, I thought this was important to show.
No, I liked your video earlier, trying to bring perspective to these ratings.
Well, it is important. It is important. But I mean, these reviews are terrible. They're real bad.
I love it when you walk the line. Oh no, it's good, but it could be bad, or it may be bad, but it could be good. I love those. Those are my favorite videos.
Well, I mean, it's literally 50%.
I know.
It is down the line. And also, if I know I like The Lost World, Jurassic Park.
I like Showgirls. I keep telling everybody that. I love Showgirls. It is not a good movie, but I still love it. So, that's it.
I like Iron Eagle more than I like Top Gun.
Okay, you and I. Next time I see you, Nick. Hey, I still didn't get my book.
You got a book, you just don't have the autograph. You got a copy of the book, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you just don't have the autograph. Yeah, Valiant lost.
I think. What now?
I gave it to Valiant.
Can we get back on topic?
Sorry.
Anyways, I digress. Back on topic.
Jesus. I just thought this was fun to take a look at. One woman's review though is that was Nick and something happening in the background. One woman's review will define it for everyone, I think.
Oh, is it Grace?
Yeah, Grace is.
Yay!
Or it was anyway. Where is it? I mean, it's not good. She didn't like it, but it's still funny. For goodness sake. Always there where you don't want to, and then not there when you do. For goodness sake. Come on again. And again. Have a look. She didn't like it, but basically it does seem to be quite mixed. And I do wonder whether this is, I mean, Minecraft, the movie, that's not a movie for me. Like, that's not something I would enjoy. Everyone loved that, but the critics hated it.
Yeah.
Culture. This isn't me picking on you or anything like that, but because you've seen it, I do wonder whether you think, do you think it's just because, do you think, Culture, that the audience will like it and whereas you dislike it? Do you think it's just because of a disconnect on the type of interest or not? What do you reckon? I asked Coaches a question. He's disappeared.
I was like, what happened?
What the fuck was that? I went to go answer it. He goes,
Ever.
wow. What do I actually think, though? That was weird. I'm like going, anyway.
Amazing.
Not great. No, look, I think you're right, though. I think that it definitely is a reviewer and somebody who watches a shitload of films. I love cinema. I just do. So when I don't like a film, that always means like this is not going to connect with most audiences. If you're a giant dino lover and all you're there for is the dinos and not for any kind of a story or like anybody's like individual acting performance or anything that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, if you are one of those people that is capable of turning your brain off and accepting loads of bullshit and exposition in, wonderful, feelings, expression sessions, sitting around tables, this movie will work for you. It's just most human beings aren't wired that way. There are really only 3 new dinosaurs that you may or may not care about. And then there's the Rancor at the end. That's it. So if you're just there, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I was out when I found out there was no Sarlacc pit in the film. I was
it reeks of Disney because it's made by everybody that works with Disney. This is a Universal film, folks, but nobody clearly from Universal ever bothered to show up. They let the Kennedy Marshall Group, which is Frank Marshall and Kathleen Kennedy married production group. I think it's called Marshall Kennedy. Anyway, they let them basically take control of this, and everything that's in it is Industrial Light and Magic, Lucasfilm, Lucas Sound, Lucas. It was all Lucas. Industrial Light and Magic, the whole 9. So when you're there, it's not very separated from something that Disney would make. In fact, there were moments I was like going, oh man, they have animatronics at Disney that are better than this. And it, like I said, the big dinosaurs are great. There was clearly motivation for getting a little, take home dinosaur into your backpack kind of a thing, because it happens in the movie. And the little girl takes home a dinosaur in an environment where dinosaurs are dying off because of some kind of thinning of the atmosphere everywhere but the equator bullshit.
So do you think, to get back down to what's it?
Sorry. I'm so frustrated by this movie.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you think people will like it where you don't, though? That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I think there is a group of people that will go and think, well, that was a fun dinosaur movie. To what end? I don't know. This isn't like a regular Jurassic Park or Jurassic World movie, whereas it has broad appeal. This doesn't. I think Jordan Rumi captured the best analysis of this. This is a paint by numbers Hollywood machinery assembled it, very hollow and soulless movie. And soulless would be the correct description for this. Even Inverse says bad things about this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like a lot of modern day sort of Hollywood blockbusters, the movies with real money behind them, a lot of them are very soulless. They are.
Yeah, well,
they are designed and created purely for a very cynical cash grab. You can create something for money, but without the sort of cynicism behind it, that sort of cynical approach of like, well, this is just going to make money. So,
I think that's all. I think that's why this was made, for no other reason, or to maintain the IP or whatever. It's just I looked at it and 2 hours and 14 minutes. I stayed through every moment of this plus the previews. So I was literally at the theater because AMC now runs somewhere between 25 minutes and 35 minutes of previews before every show now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That sounds like pure dog shit.
It's hell. So you basically
unadulterated.
That's why I would show up late.
Yeah, no, everybody is going to now because AMC actually, I think, advertised this just a couple days ago. Regardless, you can literally sit there for half an hour before you see anything. Not to mention the fact you have to listen to, Nicole Kidman talk about not eating the bugs, even though we know she made him a commercial about eating the bugs. But regardless, you get there, you sit down, you watch through the previews, and then a film that's 2 hours and 15 minutes long, let's say, and I've been at the theater for 3 hours. You know, the theater's almost yeah. I mean, it's that I don't need 5 hours of my day gone, which is exactly what happened. So yeah, back to this. I want to hear what Grace had to say.
What?
I want to hear what Grace had to say.
It's been on the screen this entire time. Jaws, but also on land. Too many nods to Spielberg films. Therefore, the movie never develops its own identity. There's too much talking, plus turning the dinosaurs into monsters makes this a monster movie. Why lose what makes this franchise special? I mean, I actually fundamentally disagree with that because dinosaurs were monsters. Like, Jurassic Park was a monster movie. Yeah, there was awe and wonderment, but it was a monster movie. They were monsters. You know, if you came across a T-Rex today, you wouldn't be like, oh, look at that. Oh, how amazing. You'd be like, holy shit, this monster's going to come and fucking kill me.
Or a herd of raptors.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of monster movie tropes in the original Jurassic Park. I fundamentally think she's retarded, but I think this review is retarded. I think it's dumb. Like, and as well, like, I think because I did a video on this earlier, and I said in the video is that when a franchise has strayed so far from what made it great, there's not necessarily any harm in returning to the original status quo to reaffirm its identity as a franchise, as a property, to then, continue. Well, to then continue again from there. I think that's okay, because you can't, on one hand, bitch and complain that, this doesn't feel like a whatever movie. It's like, okay, but then when they do make it feel more like the original, people are like, oh, it's just the same type of movie. It's like, then are you happy about anything at any point in time ever? Like, does anything ever make you happy? So I think there's merit in a movie studio going back to a franchise's roots to rekindle that magic that made it a franchise to begin with.
I agree. The Halloween films are a good example of that. It's like they're just.
Can you make that speech to the Disney company? Because I think they need that one.
Okay. Yeah.
No. Unfortunately not. Yeah. But there you go. I don't have anything else to say. Do you guys want to add anything to this?
I just want to add, where I think they should take this franchise next is the way of Friday the 13th, Jason in Space, Dinosaurs in Space is what we need next. That's what they need to do.
And hear me out.
Here we go. I knew that was coming.
Or dinosaurs riding motorcycles with guns. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Either of those, I can see them moving in that direction next, possibly.
Look, I want to ask you before we leave, because I know we're wrapping it up, but is based on what I described about the Jurassic Afterbirth movie, is there anybody here that's going to go see it?
Well, I mean, I'll watch it and review it, but it's not because I've got an interest in it, just because I do this. So,
Nick,
I'm probably if I can see it for free, I'll probably see it for free. Otherwise, I'll probably skip this one and wait for it to come out.
Bo, are you gonna go watch Dinosaurs?
Nope. No, I'm going to go watch F1. So next Tuesday we'll talk about F1. But no, I'm not a little kid that's interested in seeing dinosaurs. I'm interested in watching an actual documentary about the prehistoric, the Jurassic Age or something. I'm interested in the ancient world. But yeah, I like the original Michael Crichton book, and I like the first couple of movies. That's it. I think there's two. There's definitely two. There might be three Jurassic Park movies I haven't even watched over the last few years. So no, throw this one on the pile. Throw it on the pile. Next.
Fair. All right. Well, we've got some super chats, so we'll get to them. Jesus, I'm guessing, De Villa, has gifted a membership. Thank you so much, bud. Do appreciate that. Israel R says, hello, HCast. I think that F1 might be the only fun movie worth watching this summer. I doubt Fantastic Four or Superman will have strong positive impact. Is the summer blockbuster era over? Cheers. Well, Bo will tell us all about F1 when he watches it, and we'll talk about that next week, hopefully. As for the summer blockbuster era, gotta remember we are still dealing with the fallout of those strikes that happened, the actors' strike and the writers' strike. So we're still kind of dealing with the fallout of that ever so slightly. Movies are years in the pipeline. So, and also we're still dealing with the pendulum swinging ever so slightly the other way. Again, movies years in the pipeline as the sort of Overton window and the sort of status quo in everyone's minds begins to shift further and further. It takes a long time for everything else to catch up with it. So it's over probably now for a little while, but then it could come back, I'm guessing. I mean, it's never going to be over completely, is it, really? Summer blockbuster will always be there, I guess. So, yeah. Anything to add? Nope.
I don't have anything else.
No, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Hemorrhoid Hurt says, not talking Beavis and Butthead COD shit show today. I have no idea what you're talking about. I've literally no idea. Beavis and Butthead Call of Duty? Are they in Call of Duty? If so, why? What? No, I don't know anything about this. This is new to me. Yep. Call of Duty Black Ops Beavis and Butthead collaboration trailer.
What? Is that real? I heard something about Kenobi season 2 news also. Is that real? Have you guys heard anything? I haven't been looking at any of the news
funny,
today.
Culture's talking about how a film can be crap, but you like it. Like Showgirls. I feel that way about Beavis and Butthead Do America.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a shitty movie. Like, the world doesn't need it, but I like it. I really like it.
Yeah. Hey, can I show you one of the things I'm sending to Nate?
Yeah.
Did you see this? Did you see this earlier?
What was it? All right, those.
Oh, Lemonhead.
Yeah.
Gross.
Whoa, that's real. Holy crap.
Yeah, it's real. We can't watch it because I can't risk.
Oh, you're getting a strike. Yeah.
But yeah, there's this like. I have no idea what I'm looking at with this. I mean, it looks mental.
I always loved Beavis and Butthead, the original MTV thing, right?
Tippy for my bunko.
What is this?
Fire! Hold on.
I don't know whether I like this. I don't know whether I like it or not. I don't know. It's like a weird acid trip. Mental. Yeah, I don't know. You know why I don't like it? It's because they look so different from everything else here. That's why.
Yeah, it's like they're completely out of place. And I'm guessing they're not in the game. This is just a promotional thing.
It is. I mean, it's dumb fun. Oh, whatever. That's cool. That's funny. Hemorrhoid Hurt says CC will never play COD with me now. There you go. There you go. All right, cool. Apparently they are actually in the game. Yeah, they are in the game. Apparently.
Oh wow.
That's mental. That's so strange. I don't know. I don't know what I think of that. It's so bizarre. Okay. What a way to end. That wraps us up. Bo, promote some stuff, bud, if you want to.
Yeah, please do consider going to lotuseaters.com and becoming a subscribed member there for as little as £5 a month. Lotus Eaters does live and die on those subs. If you did subscribe to that, you can get my show called Epochs. Like I'm on episode 220 odd, long form history themed content for free though. Also, just head over to History Bro. And there's also the other channel. Me and Nate are doing the state of politics, getting that off the ground. So please do consider subscribing to that. And finally, catch me on Twitter as Bodade or just at HistoryBro1.
You guys should do a video over there, the round 2 of Trump versus Elon crap that started back up.
Yeah, we probably will cover that at some point.
Yeah. Nick, promote some stuff, buddy.
Yep, you can find me and Coach over at formerly known as Echo Base Network. Now we're just going by EBN. We're actually going to probably try to get some videos knocked out tonight, but we stream every Thursday at 7. No EBN cast this Friday because it's July 4th, so we're going to try to get back on track with that next Friday, but that's normally every Friday at 2 o'clock Central Time.
And Culture?
Very excited to say that the new channel is going well. We need more subscribers. Go check out Campione Reacts. I would appreciate it. Also, tomorrow's 6-Minute Daily. We're going to talk about some, interesting developments in trailers being stolen and leaked online. And we're going to have a little video about Superman and James Gunn's ruining Superman and admits it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Cheers. I hope you have a great day, evening, morning, whatever. Bye now.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.